Defending freedom. This editorial condemns the PICA law and defends freedom of speech. There was no other choice. No other choice implies that the government felt compelled to act, leaving it with no alternatives. Despite assurances of consultations with key stakeholders, the government passed the PEC Amendment law and has forced journalist bodies, the legal fraternity, and human rights groups to launch a united front against this draconian law, culminating in a convention at the Karachi Press Club on March 1st. Assurances of consultations suggest promises of dialogue that were not kept. PICA Amendment law refers to changes that expand state control over digital content. Draconian is an adjective describing excessively harsh measures. Launched a united front indicates that various groups have banded together in opposition, and culminating in a convention means their protest reached a peak gathering. Journalists have been at the forefront, organizing protests, filing legal challenges, and raising awareness. At the forefront means leading the effort. Organizing protests and filing legal challenges indicate active resistance through public demonstration and the legal system. Their efforts have borne fruit, with various civil society groups joining their cause. Borne fruit is a metaphor meaning their actions have yielded positive results. Additional groups joining suggests growing momentum. With a convention, this movement is gaining critical mass. Critical mass means enough support has been gathered to potentially affect change. The decision to band together can be a powerful statement against a repressive legal framework. Band together means to unite. The sentence argues that collective action serves as a strong protest against oppressive laws. The concerns are well-founded. This succinct statement affirms that the fears about the law are justified. PICA expands the state's powers to target individuals for expressing opinions online. This indicates that the law increases governmental control over digital expression. It grants authorities sweeping control over digital content, putting all citizens at risk of censorship and persecution. Sweeping control means extensive, far-reaching power. Censorship and persecution refer to the suppression of free speech and potential punishment for dissent. Even before this law was passed, journalists, academics, doctors, students, and activists had been subjected to intimidation. This underscores that suppression was already occurring, highlighting a pattern of repressive behavior. The new amendments formalize these excesses, shielding state actors from accountability while stifling legitimate discourse. Formalize means to make official. Shielding state actors implies that the law protects government officials from being held responsible, while stifling legitimate discourse criticizes the curtailment of free discussion. The March 1st convention must serve as a platform for wider mobilization. This is a call for the convention to be used as a rallying point for broader collective action. While journalists have taken the lead, other societal groups should also step forward. This encourages a broader coalition beyond the media to defend freedom of expression. Suppression of speech is not an issue confined to the media. It is a direct attack on the rights of every citizen. This sentence emphasizes that restricting speech affects all people, not just journalists. Teachers, students, labor organizations, and civil society must recognize that this law threatens their freedoms. Recognize means to understand or acknowledge. The sentence broadens the impact of the law to various social groups. Unchallenged, its reach will extend beyond journalists to anyone questioning authority. This warns that if the law is not opposed, it will eventually silence all critical voices. The government must acknowledge that steamrolling critical voices is neither sustainable nor democratic. Steamrolling is a metaphor for forcefully suppressing opposition. This asserts that such tactics undermine democratic values. It should immediately repeal the latest amendments to PICA and engage in genuine dialogue with relevant stakeholders to draft a more balanced law. Repeal means to revoke. The sentence advocates for prompt action to reverse the law and replace it with fairer regulations. Policy recommendations should include independent oversight of content regulation, clear safeguards against abuse, and a commitment to upholding freedom of expression as enshrined in the Constitution. This outlines specific measures for reform, independent monitoring, protections against misuse, and adherence to constitutional rights. The unity displayed by stakeholders against PICA shows that citizens will not quietly accept the erosion of their fundamental rights. Displayed unity suggests a strong collective response. This sentence affirms that the public is willing to fight against violations of their rights. The government must heed these voices before the consequences of this legislation feed into a wider societal discontent. Heed means to pay attention. This is a warning that ignoring public outcry could lead to broader unrest. A free press is not an adversary. It is an essential pillar of democracy. Published in Dawn, February 23, 2025, a